Good evening, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. So, we'll discuss right now on all speech and action comes prepared out of eternal silence. So, the topic of discussion is on eternal silence. So, here we have a very nice aphorism from Sri Aurobindo. We have seen all speech and action, not only speech but also action, both comes prepared, not in a very hazardous way or in any like this anything, nor in even a chance entanglement. It is coming prepared out of eternal silence. So this great aphorism we have seen, this is 276. Now we are here, of course we are planning to expand it a little bit in from the quotations as quoted by our master Sri Aurobindo. So this will be the topic of discussion. All speech and action come forward, come prepared out of eternal silence. Not only silence, it is eternal silence, and they come prepared. That is the great thing. We are going to have a very much fantastic look at that point. So three things we find here: speech and action. About the speech and action, we are well aware. We know what really the speech is, what is the action and all. So these are the things eternal. When it is written the eternal silence, so there must be something hidden behind it, because when we talk of the it is eternal, it has been, the beginning is from time immemorial. You don't know when it started and how long it will go. It was there, it is here, and it will be even after a long. We will find that is what eternal, and the moreover we have to go beyond. So anyway, we have to see and how Sri Aurobindo really describes this silence and action, and eternal silence, silence and so these are the things we want to see. Sri Aurobindo quotes, action is the first power of life. Action. Action is the first power of life. Life started, life plodded on, life adventured. So life is now getting elevated. Life is now in the process of transformation. So everything starts really. It is the first power of life. That is action. Very interesting. That is the that the brilliance is there. So here we find that is the great description. So here in the quotes here, even always keep within and do things without involving yourself in them. Very interesting here in the quotes. Always keep within and do things. Always keep within, and second, do things without involving yourself in them. Without get uninvolved, without involving yourself in them, then nothing adverse will happen. If there is no involvement, only you keep within, then there will be nothing adverse will happen. Or if it does, a serious, no serious reaction will come. So two things you must have, you must think, do to avoid the adversity, and of course to avoid the serious reaction. The two things that are really needed, two things are needful, that is to keep within, and second in doing the things without getting involved. So anyways, here in the quotes forward in the next phase of discussions, here in the quotes, what is the use of only knowing? Because sometimes we claim we know. You okay, after reading so many things, having the practical experience also, people keep knowing the things. Here in the quotes here, what is the use of only knowing? I say to thee, act and be. Instead of knowing the theoretical aspect only, you have to be practical. Still, that's what quotes on practical aspect of life. So, what is the use of only knowing? I say to the act and be. Act and be, two things. Well, not only act, practical aspect, and be, that transformation, final transformation will be there. Act and be. For therefore God sent you into this human body. That is the mission, that is the purpose. And at the end you have to fulfill it, because God has sent you, and his mission is that not only to know everything in a theoretical manner, but the thing is that you have to convert it, you have to act practically, and you have to be. That is what Sri Aurobindo's version Sri Aurobindo wants to explain. For that God sent you into the human body. For that you have to act and be only knowing that has got no that much importance at all. Against during the course, if we are here, we are to realize the divine in the world. Very interesting course. The condition. Sri Aurobindo starts the sentence with if. If we are to realize the divine in the world, it can't be done by leaving aside the world action and action of itself altogether. So there is very interesting and very top quotation and explanation from Sri Aurobindo. If we are to realize the divine in the world, definitely divine the world is creation of the divine. Divine is entirely throughout. Divine is fulfilled in the world. If we are to realize the divine in the world, it can't be done by leaving aside the world action. So world action you have to carry with you, it is necessary, and action itself together carry living as world action and action itself altogether. So both are the things, it has to be correlated, go side by side, and you have to fulfill them, so that you will be in a position to realize the divine here in this world. Against your in the course, if thy aim to be great and thy means are small, suppose aim is there, ambition, objective, so many ways it comes. So if aim is be great, if thy aim be great and thy means are small, but to fulfill the privilege, to fulfill the ambition, the means are small, still act. Don't hesitate, don't stop, and don't confuse, and don't get broken. So still act, for by action alone this can increase to thee, only through the action. Suppose you are in the course, it is a very interesting thing we must see. Suppose you want to touch the moon, but actually your resources are not that much. So still act, no problem. Some time will come, if there is perseverance, if there is sincere aspiration, and if there is your call and prayer are sincere, something will come, because to aid your efforts, divine is there. And if you are very much sincere, very much careful, the things will be fulfilled today or tomorrow. That's what's here in the course. If thy aim is great and if thy means are small, still act. Don't wait, don't break down, still act, for by action, for by this action alone this can increase to thee. So step by step it will be there, and of course the grace is there, the help is there, the aid is there, the privilege is there. So you have to think what is there, you have to fix a big aim, and you have to continue. Care not for time and success. What is coming, how long it is taking, and what type of success is coming, and when it is coming. Don't care for that one. Care not for the time and the success. Act out thy part. You are here only to part, and the result, the fulfillment, the final, the goal, everything leave it to the divine, because finally he has to fix up, and he has to give the proper fruit of your works. So can care not for time and the success. Act out your thy part, whether it be to fail or to prosper. When God has sent you to the field, he knows what is your ability. So thing is that once you have been sent, you have been chosen, you have been sent, and you are there on the field with your arms and ammunition. Naturally your in your part, the thing is that you have to raise your sword. That is what you can do. But like Arjuna, you can see that I am like a Napunsaka. Don't be proved as a Napunsaka. or don't think or act like Arjuna initially, that I will never wage war. That is not your work. You had here, God is there with you. Sri Krishna, the avatar, is there with you. So he has to move you out in the right process, right path, and you will reach the right in the right direction. You will reach you will reach at the right goal. So for that, you don't worry. You don't worry what you have to do. You act your part, act thy part, and the result finally it will be decided. You leave thy works result to its omnipotence, to the God, and finally you will you will feel your goals are fulfilled and everything has been granted by the divine at the right moment, in the right process of time, through the right channel, and you will have the right, of course, fulfillment you will find later. Against Europe in the courts, it is the spirit in the act. It is the spirit in the act that is essential factor. In which spirit really you are fighting, you are doing the work. So what is the spirit in which you act? That is the essential factor. You know, Mother's quotation is there. You have remembered. You must have remembered. You remembered. You must have listened. That great topic, great work from the mother, great description from mother. Work done in true spirit is meditation, nothing else. Sometimes we get confused. We simply sit down idly and light a candle of ghee or something, put a burning incense stick before us, and close the door so that we can meditate. But another very simplified factors are there. We can know work done in true spirit is meditation. True spirit, spirit must be true spirit, and of course, second quotations here in the quotes. Work done in contact is meditation. You have whatever you do, work you do, it does not matter. But the thing is that that must be done in being in contact with the divine. That is what the meditation. Still in the quotes, to the yogin action. To the yogin action is chiefly important not for its own sake, but rather as a means for the growth of the soul Godward. Not for the what you are going to, what is important really, that is not for your sake, yourself. You are nothing doing nothing for yourself, but what you do, that is for the soul, which will soar down Godward. That is what soul, growth of the soul Godward. That is the purpose, and that is the yogin ashram action. So they don't work for this, they are self for the own realization, for the own privilege, and for the importance of their own sake. They work wholeheartedly, and of course, single unidirectionally, unilaterally, they work for the growth of the soul Godward. And here in the course again, if when thou sittest alone, if alone thou sittest alone, still and voiceless on the mountain top, thou canst perceive the revolutions that thou art conducting. So simply you are lazy, you are sitting somewhere on the mountain top, sitting alone, still, voiceless on the mountain top. Thou canst perceive the revolution thou art conducting. Then thou hast the divine vision and art freed from appearances. That stillness, that loneliness, that voicelessness, that is a great thing. But thing is that everything must be very much, we have a positive attitude. So every activity is important in its own place. Every activity is important in its own place. That you have to concentrate. You must know. Our action arises, and if we are, as we ourselves have emerged, our action arises as we ourselves have emerged out of a universality of which we are not aware. So they see this is the process of evolution, whether you know or don't know, or know or not, or whether you understand or not. The thing is that you are moving, you are being pushed forward. Thing is that our action arises. There is no, every time our action arises, knowingly or unknowingly, we know we are doing some action. This action actually it arises as we ourselves have emerged. We have emerged like this. Our actions arises out of a universality of which we are not aware. From where it comes and to where it is going, this universality, we are moving forward, pushed forward towards the universality. Of course, we are not at all aware. Again comes the term that is silence, speech. Speech, silence is gold, speech is silver. Look before you leap. Speech, that is secondary. Thing is that action is primary. Speech, it is eternal. Silence, speech is speech and action being prepared in the eternal silence. In many ways, we have known the speech, but the thing is that before you speak, try to take maximum precaution what really we are speaking. Then actually we are here to see what is the silence and the action. That's what silence and action. Most of the time, suppose nobody is there, you are acting. So now you are that then time then also you are silent. But here the thing is that the topic, the concept is totally different. You work in the eternal silence. So silence and action, that has been put forward here in the quotes. The soul does not act; it only breathes out from itself overwhelming action. Sri Aurobindo quote, that is a very great and grand saying from Sri Aurobindo. The soul does not act. That is the first condition. The soul does not act. It only breathes out. Soul that is hidden inside. That is the spark soul. Psychic being a soul. You have known. The soul does not act. It only breathes out from itself overwhelming action. It breathes out from itself overwhelming action. It does not act against during the course that which is are liberated, that which the liberated sees in his soul. On its mountain tops, heroes and prophets spring up in the material world to proclaim and accomplish. So, see, that is the thing has been written. Author and actor is he with us for roles. So even we don't know which role we have to play. The thing is that originally action comes forward, then thought comes fast. Thought, not the ordinary thought, the thoughts which the the liberated, the sages, saints, the angels, they have planned. That which the liberated, already liberated, sees in his soul on the mountain tops. Liberated sees in the mountain tops in his soul, which they have seen, that is only executed by heroes and prophets spring up in the material world to proclaim and accomplish. These are the thoughts are coming by the liberated in his soul on the mountain tops. It is proclaimed and accomplished by the heroes and the prophets in the material world. So just imagine how the great channel of working, how the path of action it is actually getting materialized. Against here in the course, if the French Revolution took place, beautiful. If the French Revolution took place, it is because the soul on the Indian knows. If the French Revolution, three great things we have known: freedom, brotherhood, and equality. These are the great fruits of the French Revolution you have seen. If the French Revolution took place, it was because a soul on the Indian snows, soul in the Indian snows dreamed of God. Soul in a India in the on the Indian snows dreamed of God as the freedom, brotherhood and equality. Freedom, brotherhood and equality, for who is this great French Revolution came and took place. Just imagine how the great topic is there. Anyway, it is Sri Aurobindo's great writings in his aphorisms that all speech and action come from forward from the eternal silence. Silence, we have seen, it is transitory. Most of the time, it is unconscious, unaware of the things which what really we are going. We are not aware of the eternal silence. Still, then something is being done, being held. So it is there here in the courts. All the speech and action, not only speech and action come forward, prepared out of eternal silence. That eternal silence, at that point of time, that is the correct time where we have to click and we have to see what really the eternal silence is. Anyway, towards the end, we'll have a beautiful aphorism. Next one. There is no disturbance in the depths of the ocean. You just remember. You find turmoil, you find that sound, you find that waves, so many ways. You find on the shore only. If, however, you go into the depths of the ocean, there is no disturbance in the depths of the ocean. But above there is the joyous thunder of the sounding. Above there, in the depth, there is nothing. Above there, the joyous thunder of its shouting and its racing shoreward. Two things here in the cold: joyous thunder of its shouting and its racing shoreward. Shouting and racing shoreward. It is so it is it with the liberated soul in the midst of the violent action. It is also possible in the with the liberated also. It is also liberated soul in the midst of violent action. The soul does not act. Just now we read, the soul does not act. It only breathes out from itself overwhelming action. Great thing, we must know. It is a very inspiring topic, no doubt of it. Vande Mataram.